Hey, what's up everyone? This is Snackbox. Hope you all are having a great day. Guys, in today's video, I'm gonna do a takeover for Solak. And Solak asked me to hit Chimera and unlock, the one key for Nightmare. Before he was able to one key Brutal, but I want to take his team to the next level and make sure he can hit Nightmare and one key it and get the Grandmaster chest so he can get, the maximum rewards. Unfortunately, I can't try Ultra Nightmare because his clan did not unlock it yet, but we will hit Nightmare and then we will see how high the damage will be, and that will determine if he is ready for Ultra Nightmare or not. So let's take a look at his champions. He has a pretty good roster, to be honest. Couple of mythicals here. A Lady Mikage, which is obviously always good. Then I see a Siphi right here. Also a very good reviver. We have a ninja, also very important. One of my favorite legendary champions for Chimera. I used him a lot and for a very long time. He was my go-to nuker, and it's pretty chill to run ninja, to be honest, because he's stacking stats and damage and, just ramps up damage over time. And it's just, he also does a couple of things that enable some trials, which is amazing. So, yeah, those three are kind of standing out at the moment. Then we have Lydia, obviously one of the best support champions. I also see a Marius, which is also pretty good, so maybe we can utilize him. Do we have a Necmo? No, there's no Necmo. Do we have a Snick Track? Also no Snick Track. Do we have a... Yeah, we do have a Lamassu, so that's a good sign. She also provides free debuffs that are very, useful. Decrease attack, block buffs, decrease speed, and then she has that 50% turn meter boost. And yeah, I think that's the team I want to go for. So Lamassu, Siphi, Ninja, Mikage, and Lydia. That's the team I'm gonna aim for. Pretty classic team. I used this lineup very, very often, and it works pretty well. And yeah, we will see how far I can push his damage. I'm pretty positive that we can hit the one key, and yeah, maybe even more. So yeah, there we go. This is the team that we're gonna go for, and now I need to do some re-gearing. Then I'm gonna show you the gear, and then we're gonna do the run. So one thing I want to mention here, Solak definitely, seems like he's very cautious with using his resources, and that makes sense, right, to a certain extent, because he's free to play, and you don't want to waste your stuff. You want to use it wisely. But it seems like he rarely uses his stuff. As you can see, is a lot of oils and a lot of silver. And yeah, you gotta, if you want to progress, you gotta use your resources. At least if you have speed boots, hit that ascent one time and see if you can hit a speed ascension or not, because a speed ascension on speed boots can already make a huge difference. This is something I want to put out there, guys. I get if you don't know where to use what, but try to see the potential in artifacts and stuff and use your resources if you want to progress. And yeah, this is just something I want to put out there. Here, another perfect example, guys. He had a banner with a quad roll, and there was no speed on it. And I thought, you know what? Let's hit the legendary ore. And I think, this just elevated his account to a different level alone, this banner. So yeah, use your resources. If you have banners like this with a quad roll and you haven't reworked it yet, use your ores, guys. It's really an insane way to get quad rolls, and I got many just from oring stuff. So yeah, keep reworking your stuff, guys. All right, so I'm done with the re-gearing, and here you can see the stats that we actually, need to hit. Now the Chimera speed on Nightmare is at 285. So ideally, you always want to be faster than the Chimera so you can outlap her. If your damage dealer is not that fast, that's cool because you usually want to bring a decreased speed, increased speed, and turn into boosting and so on. So as you can see here, the resistance of the Chimera is 350 on the ultimate form, and then the highest resistance is 400. So your accuracy should be between 375 and 425 minimum. Usually, I'm trying to aim obviously for the highest resistance, right? So I want to hit that 425. That's the sweet spot, right? That's where you want to be at with your debuffers at least. If your nuker is like close to 375, that's totally fine as well. If he doesn't need to place the debuffs all the time, and sometimes I sacrifice a little bit of accuracy so I can push more damage, if that makes sense. And yeah, these are pretty much the stats that I'm aiming for. So now let's take a look at the champions. All right, so here we have Lydia in a 9-piece Pharaoh set. Yes, he has the accessories for Lydia, which is absolutely amazing because that will be a huge damage push. And also we got the quad speed roll on the banner with the rework, absolutely amazing. So 305 speed was definitely a good speed to be at. And then we have 64k HP. I wish I could get that to like 80k and 4k defense. That's totally fine. But all I'm really caring about here is 305 speed and then the accuracy 419. I can push it a little bit higher. As I said, 425 is what we are really aiming for. I can still use some glyphs, so that will be totally fine. So let's equip Lydia with this. So she's now in a 9-piece Pharaoh set. She doesn't have a relic, so there's still room for more accuracy actually. She has a Brimstone Blasting. I'm actually going to swap that. I'm going to change that to a Nature's Bounty because that is really what is going to help us with the ramp form. Otherwise, we don't have a option to negate the reflect damage, so we really need the Nature's Bounty. So let's do this. Now we got Nature's Bounty. It's a 2-star. It's just a 15% chance, but still we have a chance. All right, let's take a look at the masteries. These are looking fine, don't need to change much. We have War Master here. We have Master Hexer. I would love to have Lasting Gifts here instead of Spirit Haste. And let's actually do that. So we're gonna rework the masteries a little bit. So we're definitely gonna go with accuracy and more accuracy. All right, so we're not going to go with Swarm Smiter because it's just 4 accuracy. There's only one enemy, which is the Chimera. And I want to go with Arcane Celerity and Rapid Response because that gives us additional turn if we need to boost something. And Chimera is all about taking more turns. And yeah, I'm just going to pick this one. It doesn't really help with Chimera, but it gives me the opportunity to take Rapid Response and also Arcane Celerity. So now I'm getting turn meter boost every time, or there's a chance for a turn meter boost every time a buff or a debuff expires or gets removed. I definitely want a Lore of Steel because of the additional stats that I'm getting from sets. Right, this is very helpful. I want Master Hexer. I want to extend debuffs that she's placing. Now I need to get Cycle of Magic, which is also pretty awesome. Sometimes it really helps you to complete some of the trials because you have a chance of decreasing cooldowns. So that helps. And now we're going to go with Lasting Gifts. Boom. So we got Lasting Gifts and Master Hexer, so we can now extend debuffs and buffs as well. Now here's the thing, he could probably go with Eagle Eye instead of War Master here, and then he would have a Lydia that would be ready for Ultra Nightmare Chimera. So we're gonna go with Eagle Eye. We're not gonna take War Master. And then he, once he starts hitting Ultra Nightmare, he doesn't need to swap, the masteries and so on. So let's go with Eagle Eye. And one thing I want to mention here is that if you are trying to tune your team for the ramped form, for the dual target, for the lowest crit damage, this is a pretty nice way to tune it if you need more crit damage on the other champions. So this is a pretty nice way to get some extra crit damage from the masteries. Now this Lydia doesn't really need it, so we're gonna go with the defense tree as we're not going for War Master anyway. So there's no point in going for the offense tree. So we're gonna hit resistance here, and then we want a little bit more heal, chance to remove a debuff, less damage, and then a chance to counterattack, which is pretty good on the ramp form. If we are hitting, you know, the true fear, that would definitely help. And yeah, these are the masteries that we're gonna run for Chimera. So now, in terms of relics, me personally, I run the Gaze of Damnation on my Lydia just because, you know, the synergy with fear, but that doesn't really do much. It's just, you know, additional accuracy, basically. You could, you know, theoretically use this totem as well. The wearer's turn meter increases by 10% whenever an ally receives stun, sleep, fear, true fear, and so on. And the Chimera sometimes, you know, gets some crowd control debuffs on your team, and that can actually help to get some more turns. So yeah, this could be an option, or the Gaze of the Nation. I'm just gonna let him decide because right now we don't really need the extra stats, but this is just, you know, an example of what you could use on Lydia. All right, now final stats: 469 accuracy, more than enough. Actually, almost ready for Ultra Nightmare, and 305 speed. So yeah, pretty good. All right, so here is Ninja. I put him in a 6-piece Merciless set and a Zeal set and 1 pinpoint piece to get some additional accuracy on him. I actually reworked a flat defense Merciless amulet to this crit damage amulet. Pretty amazing. Now he can reroll the Ascension to crit damage, and he will get even more damage out of him. These are the stats at the moment: 7k attack, which is perfectly fine for Nightmare. You definitely want to have more attack than that for Ultra Nightmare, or as much as you can get, but 7k is a good start. He's ramping up attack, and we also have attack up from Mikage, so it will be perfectly fine for Nightmare. 229 speed. He doesn't need to be fast, right? Because we have Lady Mikage, which is ally attacking all the time with him, and then he has the turn meter boost on his A1, so we can definitely make sure he gets some turns. He's crit capped, 286 crit damage. He has a 3-star blessing, so once he gets a 4-star blessing, that crit damage will be even higher, so it can hit above 300 with the crit damage ascension on the amulet and a 4-star, so he would deal so much more damage. 319 accuracy, pretty much on the lower side, right? As we said, like 100 accuracy below what we actually want, but we're gonna fix that a little bit in a second. All right, so the best relic you can use on this guy is, you know, the one and only Erethi Coronet. That's the best relic you can use on him, and it will push his damage by 30%. Every time he places a debuff, he will get additional damage. So we're gonna give that to Ninja, very important. And now, let's actually see what kind of gems we have. If he has a boss slayer, that would absolutely surprise me, but I don't think so. So I don't see a mythical circular gemstone just yet, and I don't think he has one, but that's not a big deal. And the thing is, now we can actually use the target finder, and that will, you know, help us with the accuracy problem a little bit. You know, his debuffs just need to get resisted. And that would definitely happen. And if it happens, we will get more accuracy and make sure they won't get resisted anymore. So we're definitely going to use that. Another thing you could do is use this one, Destructive Accuracy, which ignores the resistance when he's trying to place HP burns. But the thing is, I also want to place his Decreased Defense sometimes, just to stack up his damage faster. And sometimes it also, you know, helps when, I don't know, Lydia's Decreased Defense gets 3%ed, or something else happens, and, you know, I'd rather use this here instead of Destructive Accuracy. But if you don't have Target Finder, this is also a very good option. So we're gonna use Target Finder, and then for the Triangular Gemstone, there's one specific gemstone that I'm looking for, and it's actually this one right here, Pierce Defenses, which will ignore 3% of the target's defense when he's under 2 or more debuffs. And here, I will just steal this one. I hope he will forgive me, but I think this is a pretty necessary thing to do. So we're going to use this one. Another good option is definitely Target Smash as well, which gives you 1% more damage per 100 accuracy, but we don't have that much accuracy, and 3% defense of the Chimera is a lot. Chimera has a very high defense, so that will push your damage more than this gemstone, even if you have like 500, 600 accuracy. I don't know how much accuracy you need to get to the same level of damage that, you know, Pierce defenses would give you. So yeah, there we go. Now, one thing I want to do, he has 35,000 star stone, so we definitely gonna rank out this erratic coronet and get some more attack even, so the attack will be higher. And then we're gonna upgrade it as well. Now we get some extra accuracy, 16 more accuracy. Can we rank it up one more time? Yes, we can, and we're gonna do that because rank 4 is where you want it to be. Now we have 255 more attack, 28 more accuracy, and here is where I would stop upgrading it, because from there it's not much that you get, not much benefit. Right now we need to place 8 debuffs to reach the damage increase of 30%, and that is good enough. If you want to stack up that damage faster, you need to upgrade it. You will also gain more attack, more accuracy, but I don't think it is worth it. I think other relics are much more valuable to rank up to 5 or even 6, like a wand, for example. So yeah, there we go. We got the erratic coronet with a target finder and a Pierce defenses gemstone. And now let's take a look at the stats again. So now we are at 7.3k attack and 353 accuracy, which is very close to what we need. Now, if he gets resisted, we will stack up more accuracy with the target finder and be exactly where we want to be with the accuracy. So yeah. So Brimstone, I will definitely change the blessing as well to Nature's Ref. And this is kind of the same thing that the erratic coronet does, and it will increase his damage by 8%, which is a lot. So we're gonna do that as well. And now we have Nature's Ref on Ninja. Perfect. So let's take a look at his masteries. Oh yeah, we can also change some things around here. This will cost a little bit of gems, but it's totally worth it. I hope he can forgive me. So crit rate, I'm gonna go with crit damage. I'm gonna go with more damage, more damage, more damage, and then we want Helm Smasher, 100%. Helm Smasher is what we're gonna go with. Then we're gonna go with more accuracy. Yep, more accuracy, definitely. So now we are definitely set in terms of accuracy for Nightmare difficulty, and we are moving towards the accuracy level of Ultra Nightmare. Then we're gonna pick this Arcane Celerity, Lore of Steel, very important. We're gonna use Cycle of Magic and then also Master Hexa to extend decrease defense or extend HP burn debuff. So that's a pretty good one for Chimera. And now I want to use this one right here, the Heart of Glory. Increases the damage by 5% when attacking with full HP. And also Life Drinker, which helps to keep him alive if he's like low HP. And then you hit for, I don't know, 1 million damage, he's full HP again, and you will deal more damage because of the other mastery as well. And now with the last mastery, we're gonna go with Sniper to increase the chance to place a decreased defense on his A1. All right, so I think his masteries are done. And yeah, these are the final stats, 366 accuracy. Now we're gonna hit 400 accuracy once target finder is maxed out. And yeah, pretty solid stats, solid build. And I can't wait to see what kind of damage he does. All right, next in line is Siffy, and I have her in a 9-piece protection set. So this is what I found on his account. His protection gear is not the best. He has some good rolls. So let's actually equip her with this one. And yeah, he has, you know, double speed roll. Then he has a triple speed roll on the shield. And a triple speed roll on gauntlets, HP percentage gauntlets. So these two pieces are pretty damn good. And the others are, you know, kind of mid, but it's okay. We can make it work. Also, he has this protection piece, HP percentage, chest as well. Speed boots. I tried to hit some, you know, speed ascensions on some of his speed boots, but it didn't work. So this was the best one. And then he has, you know, one of the only protection banners here. Which is kind of unfortunate. I think he reworked this actually and tried to hit speed, but it didn't work. So yeah. Anyway, these are the stats: 84k HP, pretty good. 3.8k defense, that's also fine. That makes Lydia, I think, the lion target. 306 speed. I wish it was faster, but that's good enough. And 330 resistance. You know, just a byproduct of the protection set And now what I really like to use, and I don't know if he has that relic. Oh yeah, he has it. Is the Purge Shadow relic. The Purge Shadow relic on Sify is amazing, so I hope he's gonna get another one. I think I'm gonna put this one, the only one he has, on Mikage, and that will also, boost his damage by quite a lot. But yeah, for now, I don't know what relic I would use on her. Probably the Journal of Necrotos or something, but he's already using them on other champions, so I don't want to, I don't want to strip them off that. But maybe we can just give her, this one right here. He doesn't really have another solid option, and yeah, that's probably the best thing we can do. He has a Freestyle Blessing, Survival Instinct. I'm thinking about to change it to Intimidating Presence. I think that would, definitely make sense, so we can get some more speed for our team. And just in general, it's a very, solid blessing. There it is, right here. Just strengthens our aura, and I think this is very helpful. So let's use Intimidating Presence. And, I'm not going to change too much about the masteries because for Sify it doesn't really matter that much. Theoretically, you could go with War Master if you want to min-max and get some damage out of her, but, it's not really necessary. So yeah, there we go, 9-piece protection set. This will get a lot of damage for Ninja as well. 5% for every buff she's placing, and she's placing 3, and also when she's placing 2 when she's reviving. So yeah, pretty amazing set for Sify. Now here's Mikage, and I went for a Relentless set and a 2-piece Impulse set. Now, as you can see, accuracy is pretty high, and we can probably get it a little bit lower than that. Like, that's like more than what you want for Ultra Nightmare, because, mythical champions are ignoring resistance if you book them. And yeah, this is definitely not necessary. 400 accuracy is totally fine for Ultra Nightmare, even with mythical champions. But yeah, it is what it is. 65k HP, 310 speed. Pretty good speed, to be honest. It's actually faster than Sify. The crit damage, try to, get it higher than Lamasu's. And 480 accuracy, completely an overkill. And now let's actually give her, the Purge Shadow Relic, because on Nude, I don't think it does that much. But on Mikage, it is absolutely insane. So she's completely booked. Cruelty is also good on Mikage. All of her skills are attacks in the first form, so she would definitely get the defense lower. And yeah, this helps also Ninja to deal more damage. And yeah, he can probably go with War Master here instead of Eagle Eye, but I'm not going to swap his masteries. I'm just going to let them be like that. And yeah, that's pretty much the Mikage. So we have one Relentless set, one Impulse set, Pinpoint for additional accuracy, and a Feral Piece for additional accuracy, which is not necessary, but it is what it is. And we even have a crit damage amulet for, the dual target tuning. And now last but not least, this is Lammasu. This will be our lead champion for the aura. And this is what I got for Lammasu. So I tried to get the maximum speed out of her. I wish I could put her in a feral set as well, but he just doesn't have enough pieces to get this done, or we would sacrifice a lot of speed, and I don't want to do that. So 64k HP, 3.3k defense, 349 speed, and 85 crit damage. This is the lowest crit damage, and then we have 419 accuracy, and I would try to get it up a little bit. All right, I actually ranked that amulet up real quick, so she has a little bit more defense. There's no relic. You can also use a Purge Shadow relic on her. Absolutely amazing, works perfectly fine. Right now, I don't know what else to use her. Maybe also a Journal of Necrotos, because she does a very big turn meter boost with her A3. So, this will be a lot of turn meter, a lot of extra turn meter. So we can actually give her this, and then some additional turn meter boosts from Sify. And yeah, completely booked. Cruelty as well. Here we could theoretically use a Brimstone, for example, but I would just leave it like this for now. Cruelty is also fine, doesn't really matter too much. Brimstone would add a little bit more damage. He doesn't have masteries, which is kind of unfortunate. So he should definitely work on this and then get some additional accuracy, and that way he could make her, viable for Ultra Nightmare at some point. He's very close with the accuracy stats, and the speed is also fine. Maybe just a little bit more survivability, and then it's cool. And yeah, that's pretty much the build for Lamassu. 2 speed sets, 1 perception set, 1 pinpoint piece for additional accuracy, 1 feral piece for additional accuracy, and yeah, that's that. Alright, so here we go. Nightmare Chimera. Lamassu in the lead spot for the speed aura. Then we have Lydia in the second spot. Very important, because if we use an ally attack with Lady Mikage, she will use her A1 before Ninja, and then we have a chance on the ramp form to place the fear before he does damage, so he doesn't kill himself. Right? There's a chance. So that's pretty important and a very nice mechanic you need to keep in mind. Then we have Ninja in the third spot. We can actually also move him back. So now when Mikage would ally attack, she would decrease the defense before Ninja attacks. This is just some min-maxing. It's not really going to add a lot, but it's still a little bit more damage. Then we have Siffy, with the Intimidating Presence. This is going to boost the aura from Lamassu. And then Ninja in the last spot. All right, so let's see what we can do here. I'm pretty positive that Ninja will hit for quite some damage. And yeah, let's see. So we're going to start off putting the decreased speed, very important. We want to slow that boss down. I don't want to use any buffs yet, because the first skill that the Chimera is going to use is this one. So I'm not going to buff yet. All right, now that the Chimera used that skill, we can start buffing and using all of our skills. All right, guys, so I'm going to do this run and then going to show you the results at the end. All right, guys, here we go. Turn 61, we got 10 trials and we got 118 million damage so far. We can probably get, 1-2 million more, something like that. And yeah, pretty amazing, actually. It worked as good as I thought it would. And for Nightmare, perfectly fine. We did more than what I was aiming for, right? Nightmare 1 keys, like 89 million damage, I think. Not quite sure at the moment, but something like that. And yeah, pretty damn amazing. Lamassu, absolute beast with the reset. And you can basically use it on whoever you need it right now. So if I would need to place a debuff with Lydia, for example, I could just, give her the reset, or Ninja if I want to boost my damage, or Siffy if I need to revive again, or Mikage if I want to ally attack again. So it's very situational who I am resetting most of the time. It's Ninja, just to get more damage out of him, obviously, but sometimes it is very helpful to reset others in terms of, revive, debuffs, and so on. So you can just get your trials going, or if you need to pick up your team, because on the line form I had really some trouble, actually, but it worked in the end. I survived it because if Lamassu dies, for example, I pick her up, she resets Siffy, I can pick another champion up, and then from there it's easy to recover. Because we have the decreased attack and the decreased speed with Lamassu and so on, and the reset. And yeah, that was really, really helpful sometimes, especially on the line form, as the line form hits very hard. And that showed me that he's not quite ready for Ultra Nightmare yet. The damage could be, maybe the damage is very close, but in terms of survivability, we need a little bit more of, HP and defense stats in order to survive, the big hits from the lion form, for example, which are very, very dangerous. And I forgot how dangerous they actually are. But yeah, to be honest, on my account, my team is, relatively tanky, so I don't notice it that much. But here I definitely noticed it, and this is just Nightmare, so on Ultra Nightmare, the team would probably get ultimately blasted. But yeah, he's now way above 1 keying Nightmare and moving towards 1 keying Ultra Nightmare. So he's on a good path with this team, definitely. And, he was able to 1 key Brutal before that. And now we have almost 130 million damage on Nightmare, 1.6 billion Clash, and 10 trials. There are also more trials he could theoretically do, but for that he needs the true fear to proc on ram form, for example, and then he can, you know, complete a couple more trials. So that's pretty much it. So I'm happy with the outcome. I hope he is too. Definitely a huge upgrade and a very solid team. I like this team a lot. I like Ninja Mikage teams because they're just very easy to run and build. And yeah, pretty happy with this. So yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button. It really goes a long way. Also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more raid content. If you're interested in takeovers, feel free to join my Discord or just hit me up on Discord and we're going to go from there. The YouTube algorithm is going to suggest you a video that you might like right here, and see you in the next one.